The time all of Japan fell for an insane meme diet? This sounds so based!
Japan can be gullible, and I mean really, really gullible. Like, if you go on TV and just say something, millions of people will listen to you, even if it makes no sense at all. Like, you can just tell people that they'll lose weight by eating a banana every morning, and the next day, bananas will be sold out in every supermarket, and you'll sell 400,000 copies of your book, Morning Banana Diet. Seriously, would you trust a guy who eats a banana like this?
フォークとナイフを使ってバナナ食べるとよく噛むということが重要なんですね。味わうこともできますので、満腹中枢をしてお腹いっぱいだよっていうふうに時間のある方はお勧めしますね、これは。
フランスではこうやってバナナを食べられてるんですね。
慣れてる。上手だ皆さん。皆さんすごい。
Dude, Japan's obsession with France needs to be fucking studied, dude. If something is French, it just automatically becomes better in Japan. The way we think about Japan here, where it's like normal thing, lame, normal thing, comma, Japan, great. That's how they think about France. You walk around Tokyo, there's so much fucking French luxury for sale at exorbitant prices.
前世はフランス人ですか?
Well, I eat bananas with my hands, so I must have been a monkey in my past life. And the craziest thing is, they've taken the word dieto and redefined it to mean any pursuit of weight loss. And I mean any. For example, while you're eating your morning banana, make sure that you're wearing your diet slippers.
Skechers Shape-Ups. People bought those
Then,
here.
once you're done that, you can go work out on your styly.
胸を豊かにするスタイリー、足を美しくするスタイリー。
I mean, they'll do anything to avoid clean eating and exercise. They've got a karaoke diet that's common enough for most machines to support it.
That's kind of based.
They've even got a massage diet, so you literally don't have to do anything to lose weight. And they've been falling for this nonsense for generations. Japan has this ancient life hack where you aggressively rub your body with a dry towel until it gets irritated and turns red. This is supposed to be healthy.
What are you doing? You look crazy.
It's called Kampu Masatsu, and it was part of their education system until relatively recently. Like,
That's
Japanese
crazy.
boomers had to do this in school. Honestly, it probably does keep you warm because you're flailing around and making your skin all inflamed. And no wonder schools don't teach this anymore, though I bet the boomers are grumbling, kids these days don't even know how to rub themselves down with a towel. Okay, so why am I telling you how gullible Japanese people are? Well, I'm not the first one to notice it. There are businesses that exploit this. Like, have you ever heard of Dr. Stretch? It's exactly what you'd imagine. A business where you pay a monthly fee to lay down and have a stretching expert, aka some guy they just hired off the street last week, move your body around for you. It's kind of like a massage, but, worse? Now, don't get me wrong, I love stretching. I'm pro stretch. But I wouldn't pay some business that falsely claims to be a
I've seen
doctor.
LeBron do
Like,
this.
where's your MD, Mr. Dr. Stretch? And Dr. Stretch is expensive. They give you your first 15-minute stretch for free to get you in the door, but then they'll try to sell you a really expensive membership that includes tons of random fees.
I love this doctor!
And they're known for doing anything to get people to sign up. There's a reason if you Google Dr. Stretch, it auto-completes the word religion. But of all the businesses that prey on people's gullibility and peer pressure, there was one that did it the best.
Face exercise?
Hakutsu Araru Daijiten, or Excavation, an
Mewing!
encyclopedia of facts, is a show that began airing in 1996 and was
Japan invented
immensely
mewing? No
popular.
wonder it's so
Everyone
based.
and their mom would tune in to get the latest in health science. You know, like how cholesterol is caused by these fellas playing ping pong in your arteries.
Baba Bowie.
And why
Palpatine?
strain yourself by going for a walk when you could hire someone to tickle you instead? I mean, according to this show, they're equally intense exercises. But whatever, they're a science program. I'm sure they have like studies and stuff backing this up. And look, Japan can be tough if you're fat. People will not hold back on making fun of you for your body, and there's a lot of pressure to be skinny. So yeah, it made sense why everyone loved this show and why it was such a big hit. It gave you
We have a
useful
ton of
diet
diet
info
shows in
backed up
America.
by studies, experts, and their own experiments that the show funded through its massive budget. They were doing science.
ミトコンドリアエンジンとも言うべきところがここ
Oh,
And the
sorry,
best part
powerhouse?
was, a lot
Not
of their
engine?
diets were just things Japanese people already love to eat. Like, how convenient. They had an episode on miso soup, oyakodon. They even had an agar diet, which is like traditional Japanese seaweed jelly. But for episode 519, they had something.
Bro, I got lunch with Doug the other day, and I housed a pizza that could have fed 4 people. We went to an Italian place. I ordered a pizza. It was way bigger than I thought. I housed the whole fucking thing. Felt sick afterwards, honestly. Good though. I also want to say, you guys ever seen that Sam Adams commercial where it's all the workers and the boss at dinner, and then the boss is like, yeah, I'll have a Bud Light, and the other guy's like, I'll have this, and then one of the workers goes, I'll have a Sam Adams, and then the boss looks at him and thinks about it, and he's like, you know what, change my order, I'll have one too. And then everyone goes around the table like, yeah, I'll have a Sam Adams too. We were all eating at this Italian place, and I ordered pepperoni pizza, and I said thin crust, add basil, and then Doug changed his order, and he said, can I get that too? Can I That's sort of influence, all I'm saying. And then the other guy at our table was like, should I get that too? Kitchens hate to see you walk in.
Groundbreaking. A new superfood based on research from America. The new revelation about this secret food. Eat it and lose weight.
Okay.
This is the most weight I've ever lost on a diet. My view on dieting has completely changed. Participants who ate this food appeared 5 years younger. And that secret new food was natto, something Japanese people already eat.
Gross.
Now that is lucky. Natto is a fermented bean,
Gross.
often eaten with rice, but it turns out it's super healthy. And through some serious science,
Snot
a
beans.
microbiology expert from Temple University, Arthur Schwartz, told the show that the isoflavones in natto will juice up your levels of the hormone
Isoflavones?
DHEA, unlocking the secret to big weight loss with just a daily serving. This was massive. Now, Japanese people could lose weight without any lifestyle changes. Within 12 hours, natto had sold out from
That's crazy.
every supermarket in Japan.
That's crazy.
The demand had tripled overnight, and in some places was up tenfold. Supermarkets had to put up flyers like, we are so sorry, but we are out of natto because of a certain TV show. And while normally these shortages clear up within days, this one lasted for weeks and was like the biggest news story in the country. Manufacturers, responding to this demand, started making as much natto as possible. But hang on, something doesn't add up here. I mean, if natto will make you lose weight, would anyone in Japan have weight problems in the first place?
God, it looks
12 days
gross.
into the nationwide natto shortages, a tabloid magazine, Shukan Asahi, announced that they had done an investigation into the science behind the show, and they had some concerns. They were still researching, but they were going to publish their article in a week. Everyone was like, ooh, I wonder what happened, and then they went to bed. The next day, Kansai TV, the company that made the show, called an emergency press conference. They announced that they had made some mistakes and the natto diet was embellished, to say the least. Like in these experiments that they conducted, they tested the subjects' blood levels against the control group.
Caught.
And that might have been a little lie. They actually didn't test any blood. In fact, they didn't even take any blood. One may go as far as to say all of the data was fake. And those photos
Little
comparing people
Theranos
pre
situation.
and post natto diet, those weren't actually subjects. Those were just random people. The Japanese public was furious. I mean, this show was supposed to be science education, not science fiction. In response, Kansai TV canceled their next episode about preventing cancer and aired a 5-minute apology instead.
多くの捏造やデータの改ざんが行われていたことが明らかになりました。誠に申し訳ございませんでした。
That's crazy.
That's the end of it though, right? I mean, it can't get any worse than that, can it? Well, remember when Professor Schwartz said that DHEA causes weight loss? Yeah, he never said that. They just made it up and dubbed it over him like he's an anime from the 90s.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite.
And it turns out that wasn't the only time they had done it. They've been
That's
fake dubbing over people for
crazy.
years. In their 2006 Miso Soup episode, they spoke to Dr. Kim from a US university who told them that fermenting soybeans makes for better animal feed. But they dubbed over him saying, miso can make you thin. These guys did not give a fuck. They once did an episode where an American professor showed a new revolutionary 3-minute exercise program that was shaking the country and burns 3 times the fat. And that with it, you could achieve targeted fat loss, like to your stomach, thighs, or arms. But as you could guess, he was actually saying the exact opposite. I've never seen a study demonstrating this. Targeted fat loss is impossible. In 1998, they asked a researcher to run an experiment on mice to see if lettuce makes them sleepy. When the production crew arrived and the mice were not, in fact, sleepy, they just ignored that and found footage of sleeping mice to pretend their experiment was successful. They even brought in a different scientist to explain why the mice had fallen asleep.
That's so funny.
Yeah, there was no coming back from this. The show was immediately canceled, and the
such a
CEO of
W
Kansai
grift.
TV had to step down in shame. After that, the government stepped in and gave Kansai TV their highest possible warning for violating broadcast law. Oh yeah, and tons of overproduced natto went to rot once consumers realized it wasn't actually a superfood.
Good.
This scandal was
You
a
can't tell the difference.
massive blow to Kansai TV. But how could they even prevent something like this from happening? Well, maybe by not outsourcing the production of the show to a company that had done literally the exact same thing 2 years earlier. I'm not making this up. They had already gotten a show canceled and received a warning from the government. I mean, this show's issues were so blatant, even before the natto diet, that someone had already written an entire book calling them out. And starting in 2005, they had to add this on-screen disclaimer to every episode after they got caught lying about their agar diet. And even before that, they were given a warning by the Ministry of Health after their bittern diet gave countless viewers diarrhea. So why did nobody stop them? Well, you'd think the scientists would speak out, and some of them did, but plenty were complicit, like the mouse guy, Tajima. This guy's been on more than 500 TV shows. It's like his side hustle is being a TV expert. And when they asked him about the mouse thing, of course it wasn't his fault. I just say what the program wants me to. If I didn't do it, they'd get someone worse. Buddy, you are the worst guy.
That's not...
And everyone else involved cared even less than the scientists. I mean, the studio loved the show. They were getting paid and outsourcing all the hard work. The station was getting great ratings from it. And of course, the sponsor would never complain. Wait, I haven't even mentioned the sponsor. You know this entire show was funded by one company? The massive $1 million per episode budget, all courtesy of the Cow Corporation. And this show wasn't just brought to you by Cow, it was Cow. Every single commercial break was reserved for exclusively Cow products, like Cow floor cleaner, Cow dish soap, Cow shampoo. They never ran out of Cow products to sell you. Like, bro, I've said Cow so many times, I'm gonna start mooing. Of course, once the bad press started, Cow immediately jumped ship and pulled all their advertising. And that's it. Nothing bad ever happened to them because, of course, it never does. The multi-billion-dollar Cow Corporation still exists to this day. And while Cow got off scot-free, the industry eventually took action and set up a committee to investigate ethical violations and prevent similar incidents from happening again in the future. So, has Japan finally learned its lesson about gullibility?
No!
Well, maybe. Take phone scams, for example. Just like in the West, scammers primarily target old people, which has led to Japan coming up with some clever countermeasures. Scammers will tell you that they need like Google Play gift cards to pay for their virus cleanup service or whatever. So stores have started displaying fake virus cleanup payment cards, and if a customer brings one up, the employee knows exactly what to do. So far, these have proven to be extremely effective, and I think we should definitely copy them.
Oh, cool.
But with the rise of AI and fake videos like this one of the Prime Minister that went viral, Japan will need to continue being vigilant, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Very, very interesting. That was funny. That was a good one.